is my mother's sweater. I need to make it a little longer and fix these torn places. So I decided to attach lace to the bottom and the sleeves. This is the gathering presser foot I have. Tighten the screw completely and place it on the machine. To find out how much lace I need, I cut a 10 cm piece and gather it to check how much it will shrink. It has shrunk 3 centimeters, or in other words 30%. I will measure the circumference of the sweater, which is about 151 centimeters. Just in case, I will cut a longer piece, about 165 centimeters. To add the 30%, we must multiply by 1.3 and we get 215 centimeters of lace for the bottom of the sweater. Later, the overlock will cut this seam and only the gathers will remain. Cut the lace to the final length and gather the pieces. To make the sleeves, we must measure their circumference and add 10 to 15 centimeters more just in case. Then multiply by 1.3 or depending on what percentage the fabric has shrunk after the gathering. I can watch this all day. I will mend the torn places to prevent the fabric from stretching when sewing the lace. This ugly fix won't be visible at the end. Place the sweater with the right side up and lay the lace on top with the wrong side up, so the sweater and the lace are facing each other. Start sewing with the universal presser foot and try to sew over the first seam. Use tweezers to pull the end of the lace so that it does not curl inwards. If you have such a presser foot, you will be able to skip the first half of the video and attach the lace faster. The first way to finish sewing is to cut one end of the lace and fold it, then place the other end on top of it, fold it to the other side and sew over it. We are currently doing a stay stitch that replaces the need for pins or hand sewing in this case. Sew the two pieces together and cut the excess lace. Then you can fold the lace once more towards the back of the sweater and sew it. These seams won't be visible at the end. Now, let's make the sleeves. Sew the lace in the same way. The other way to attach the ends of the lace is by measuring the exact length of the sleeve and sewing the ends of the lace together. Then you can attach the lace to the sleeve. This is the right way to do it, but it's not important in this case. It should look like this. Now to the overlock. The seam we just made will be our guideline, and we have to cut it on the overlock. The straight lock stitch machine makes a seam that does not stretch, and if we put on the sweater, the thread will break, so we need to make a stretchable seam. If you don't have an overlock, you can use zigzag stitches to sew the lace. Don't forget to use a mending needle to hide the thread tail to prevent the seam from unraveling. By the way, if you don't have 3 spools of the same color, you can wind bobbins and use them instead. I will cut the bottom part of the lace and it will become much nicer. I made a test earlier and checked whether the lace unravels. I tried many options for top stitching, but I didn't like how they turned out, so I decided to make an invisible seam from the inside. This way the lace on the sleeves will look better and the seam edge will be hidden. Take a needle and matching thread and sew carefully, catching a few threads from the top of the fabric so that it won't be visible on the outside. Here you can see the difference. I left the bottom of the sweater like that, but later I hand sewed it the same way as the sleeves. That's all for today. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. Have a nice day and see you soon!